So let's do start his quest. I heard his story is sad from somebody, but we'll see. The night before. Plus we have what, 7 hours until the start? Wait, yeah, almost less than 8 hours. Alright, let's go. The night before, the island invites no one with the exception of children. After the good dream. The night before, part 1. Do not love half lovers. Do not entertain half friends. Do not indulge in work of the half-heart talented. Do not live half a life, and do not die half death. The great storyteller, you certainly heard the fair share of stories. From the bedtime tales your mom told you, into bragging from kids at school. Or, like the smooth talkers, you occasionally encounter in taverns. Stories in the classroom, on benches where pigeons are fed, on TV and in comic books. You heard plenty, and most of them are cliché. But hear me out. I'm sure you never heard of a story as astonishing and legendary as this one. The motoring, then the surging wave for the sea. A story that a bard could captivate a tavern full of drunks with. Every one of them forgetting their drinks. And you will be honored as its very first listener. The room is silent, the chaos outside blocked by the suitcase. Not even 1,000 woodpeckers would peck open this door. Bang! The door bursts open.
Timekeeper!
Now's the time! Put the arm ring on her! Sonetta pins the girl to the ground and winds back her head, preparing to deliver a dizzying headbutt. You bunch of sneak attacking thieves! Harry will come looking, and then he'll throw you all into the sea and feed the fishes. What? What are you doing? Erick, we need you to calm down. I'm wondering if I'm pronouncing the name right. The arm ring settles in its familiar resting place, gasping her slender yet firm arm. They bind her with ropes and place her in the chair. Let me go. You damn kidnappers, eat my foot. The girl's feet, unable to touch the ground, jabs wildly at her two captives. But like a puppy on a leash, her target is just out of reach.
My apologies.
Sorry, it is my miscalculation. I thought a 12-year-old Arcanist would be gentler and more controllable. No one could have anticipated this. Yes, next time I'll consider using arcane skills. At this moment, our protagonist, a brave and clever captive, watches quietly. She narrows her eyes, trying to determine the origin of the two assailant. Take care, Panzer. Good luck on the bosses. Huh? Ah, I've seen the album before. So you're from that whatchamacall foundation.
Huh?
You know about us? Huh, of course. I have eyes and ears everywhere. Anyway, neither of you will pry a word out of me, even if you pull out my teeth one by one without any anesthetic. It's impossible. Erick proud raises her head, as if her hands are akimbo onto her hip rather than the bound behind her back. I've seen your family records. Your mother's side has lived in Solgo Forge for generations. She's an extraordinary woman. The Norwegian branch of the Sun Palace Foundation has received a lot of help from her. But ever since she... Quite well informed, aren't you, long-eared? If she hadn't sailed off to the incredible treasure, you would never have caught me.
Sonetto.
Verton gives a subtle shake of the head.
I see.
Anyway, you're living with your grandfather and father now, right? We mean you no harm. Just considering your father and grandfather's status as arcanists, we would like you to offer you as much help as possible. We have a unique school filled with kids like you, extraordinary ones. I think you'll be interested. But I'm already in school. I mean, I already have a school within my territory. I have a crew of sailors there, ready to plunder everything here at my signal.
No.
But our school is unique. It's full of territories yet unclaimed.
That's right.
Yes, and a bunch of kids, sailors, yearning for the yard to lead them.
Yes, it'd be fun.
Oh, that does sound tempting. More interesting than attending a Stillwater Lake school anyway. But I need to speak to my crew. Not for their approval, of course. So they just so they don't panic without me. You know, they're lost without someone at the helm.
Trust me.
We already got Haru's content, Erick. But a small wooden scabbard lies on the table, along with a letter. This is what he left for you. Erick. Her feet freed, picking up the letter from the table. Erick, you are about to venture in a place full of danger. It will be daunting and fearsome. Every warrior of Valhalla must face such a challenge before adulthood. You will endure many hardships and a long, long time without us. But I believe you make new friendships and return triumphant with countless treasures. When the time comes, your father and I will throw a night-long feast for you, with unlimited soda and popcorns of every favor. Note, you can trust these two, they're good people. Yours forever, Harad. Okay, I thought I'd get a proper chance to say goodbye to everyone. Jason, the slob, workbook is still at my place, and there are 2 braid allowances I haven't used this month. She sulks, cupping her cheek, elbows on the table, her face puffed up like a blowfish. Pointy stick and wooden sword. Knowledge always clogged the throat, but unfortunately, this story is both delicate and moving. One month later. Students swarmed to the end of the hallway, gazing up at the little jar on the stairs. Hey, don't push me! Who stepped on my shoe? Shush! Quiet down!
Listen to me!
In any case, as your jar, I promise you fame, fortune, and extra snacks! Rule those words like never before, sailor, just like the mysterious adventurers of old. It's like they're up to like vote for who's going to be the president or the class president or class rep. The crowd cheers in unison. You're going to get caught by the instructors, and then you'll be locked in a dark room all day without any food. Breaking school rules is such a dumb idea. His sharp tone pierces the excitement atmosphere. The excitement dissipates, and the little ones in robes start whispering, their eyes all focused on him. This is so unrealistic. I suggest you spend more time preparing for the next test. The students who score lower will have to take extra classes to make up for it. Most importantly, if you do poorly in arcane skills, you'll probably end up as janitors after graduation. Sitting in a lonely office with a musty smell you can't get rid of. Children's minds are always so vivid imagination. And I'll become the brightest star in the LSCC. You better start thinking more practically like me.
What?
Are you kidding? I've known many cowards like you before. Who's a coward? At least I don't need others to do my bidding. You. Erick's face turns red with anger, just as she's about to storm over. A hand grabs her.
I think that...
You have to look that up because I'm still not familiar with which tide is which. For the peace and welfare of mankind, what are you doing? Wait, what you are doing is completely pointless. Like weather vanes, the crowd turns their head to the new interloper. It's Theory Eifer! Run! She's gonna put me off my lunch. The little robes scatter, leaving the three of them standing alone. Hey, don't go! Our plan isn't even... Your plan is meaningless, regardless of whether you fail or succeed. In the end, you either face endless anxiety or insatiable emptiness. The girl with the dim eyes points at the retreating crowd. Even if you assemble them time and again, they still walk away in the end.
No.
Not true. Some people are meant for more, and the others... so annoying. Both of you. Just shut up. She storms over, kicking a cloud of dust with each step. A battle for glory is inevitable. Oh, okay, so it's the regular commons, the common ones. Because if you got on the event banner, that means you lost pity and got to stand the character. I got one helper. Wait, what? She's weak. Okay, let's see how she goes.
Stop for the laws or stop for the nod.
It's been... Okay. So what does this do? One target, and this one is mass. Alright, let's do mass.
Is ready.
Nice, we chose the right one. Debuff.
Hoist the sails. We will not have this. The rage of the steel blanket.
Her ultimate's kind of cute. But these are only the actually, I have to check. I'm not sure if he's a 4-star or a 5-star. Because in this game, there's the top is a 6-star. 9.
Absolutely is ready. Yay! Viking drink. I'm okay.
Set sail!
Prepare to engage. The rage of the steel blanket. Like the anger of nature. As they fell, Lord Erick embarks on her legendary journey.
So it is Erick. The three scuffles, pushing and shoving, but none yields to the other. The school bells rings. They freeze momentarily, and then they scatter like kittens and race back to the classroom. As for the Gothvocus, there are kinds of critters that primarily inhabits the tropical rainforests of North America. Being omnivorous, they are adaptable species with a remarkable ability to form colonies even in the most extreme conditions. Please turn to page 126 of the Condemnum of Critters. As you can see, studies show that their colonies operate under district hierarchy. The stronger the scent of the Glarius, the higher its status. They rely on their acute sense of smell and sensitive hearing for they lack vision. For our last class, how should you react when encountering such creatures? Do not run or jump. Walk quietly. During the students' unified chant, a slight discord can be heard. You two have truly impressed me. I challenge you to a duel. The loser will bow to the winner and become their faithful sailor. Erick's assertive voice preaches the chorus, and the instructor frowns.
What?
Erick, you seem to have some unique opinions. Stand up and share them. What? She stands up hastily. The blackboard reads, "Large, dangerous critters." Clearly, our hero's attention was never on the instructors. Scratching her cheek, she tries to recall irrelevant information. Well, my grandfather Harold once said. She looks up at the frowning instructor. The classroom falls silent. All eyes are on her. He said in life, One must defeat many things, like super heavy cars, or giant brown bears, but the most dangerous of all is the endless vanity and boundless emptiness. The instructor's eyes flickers with confusion, but she listens intently. The monster known as Vanity is a huge winding snake, as large as a mountain range. It opens a mouth, boundless, and swallows anyone who strays into it. It swallows them whole, then spits out the bones in piles a mountain high. The students gaze unblinkingly, heart loud in their throats. The monster known as Emptiness is a cunning, deceitful creature, one that no one has ever truly seen. It lurks in the shadows at night, the noise under the bed, the flashes outside the windows. They drip in the bathroom. Any one of them could be it. Sometimes it's right next to your ear, at others it's far, far away. It stalks grown up, but not with a ghastly jar, but with his claws as sharp as potato wedges. It silently approaches those drowning in sadness, regret, despair. When they cover their faces, too overwhelmed to be wary, it extends its bloodied claw. Swoop! The students shudder in unison. To finish off those poor souls, in my view, these are the largest and the most deadliest of critters. Of course, I never met these terrible beasts. Harold said I'm not tall enough yet, but one day, I will. I'll knock them down and beat them so hard they can't even stand up straight. The students' eyes sparkle with admiration, and they quickly break into applause. Even her opponents, Sancho's and Ephra, can't help but get lost in thought. The instructor sighs. This student will be a bone to chew for sure. Erick, a fitting critter ought to be. The ring of the school bells cut her off. Class is dismissed. The students swarm, flocking towards Erick. Erick, come to my office later. In the bustling crowd, Erick raises her hand and waves. Yes, ma'am. The night casts its shadow on Erick's youthful cheek. She breathes softly. She lies on her bed, underneath which sits the history of potions. She twirls her pens in her hands. After a moment, she stops, buries her head in the paper before her, and begins to write. Dear Harold, this is my first winter at the SPDM. I met many new sailors here, each boosting their own impressive trick. One can make saplings sprout out of the stone, another can fly with the wind. There's even one that can foresee test questions. My fleet has grown much larger, and there are many places here that I can't wait to explore. I will unearth all the treasures I can here, hide them in my drawer, and give some of them to you when you come to pick me up. She looks up, glancing at the book at her desk, her brows furrow. But the instructor hears are mean. They're always frowning, and they like locking students in the guardhouse. Today, I spoke of a monster, vanity, and emptiness in class. The instructor called me to the office and said, those are not considered monsters. Can you believe it? Then she rambled on the history of critter surveys and made me memorize it all. In terms of boredom, these instructions are all the same. Of course, my fellow crewmates support me. They said they were the scariest monsters they ever heard of, 100 times more dangerous than anything in the critter dictionary. When I walked out of the office, wow. They surrounded me, chanting, Erick, Erick, Erick. I've never seen such a large and enthusiastic crew. I talked to them from school dismissal until evening. By the end of it, I could hardly heal my tongue. But I really miss you, Harold. She stretches out her hands and rubs her eyes. When I walk out of the office for a brief moment, I was expecting to see you standing by the door. Once I'm done with this adventure, be sure to come pick me up in old John's beat-up car. The sound of footsteps echoed from under the door. Oh, right on time. Tonight's dual challengers are here. I have to go. Please say hi to old John and his beat-up car for me. You're brave and fearless, Erick. She folds the letter, slipping it into the envelope, then puts it carefully under her pillow, like a treasure. Erick's pants, hands on the ground, beads of sweat dripping from her golden hair and onto her forehead. Sancho and Effer are standing upright, unflinching. I thought you were something special. Can't even perform a decent arcane skill. Your test skills must be terrible. Go back to sleep. Dueling her is pointless. She's no chance of beating us. Not true. If I could take off this armoring, you two will be running scared. Yeah, right. You people always have excuses. Stomach aches, hungry, rainy weather. Always concocting a reason for your failures. Then making another grand promise before the end of the week. It's like running in circles. More pointless than playing catch with the ball. Footsteps and dim light approaches the dark road yonder. Hey, you should be out here. What are you doing?
Whoa! Oh no!
Oh no, it's a school disciplinary witch. Run! Who is it, Sonata? But by now, the figure is standing right in front of them. She grabs Effer and Scancho by the collar. Oh! Matilda! Ha! As a SPDM disciplinary assistant, leaving without permission. Sancho bites the witch's left arm, giving him a moment to escape her grasp. Erick lunges at her underarm. The witch shakes her arms, releasing Effer, and then... Huh, caught you! You know it's past curfew. Erick is pinned to the ground as if it's weighted down by a pile of stones. That's your chance! Run, you idiots! The two snaps out of it and run into the darkness. They look back, catching a glimpse of our hero's brave resistance, until their vision is disturbed by the night's mist. It didn't take long for punishment to arrive. The corridor is empty and silent. Having been punished, Erick stands alone by the classroom door. Her stomach growls. She glances at her shoes, idly picks her nose, and stares out the window at the dim twilight. The orange afterglow has reached her knees. There's a sudden rustling sound from around the corner. HR never gets scared. Come out now. I mean, you better show up yourself, or else. From the corner of the hallway, two little heads pop out like rabbits. Are you okay? Erick's bravely puffed chest finally deflates. I snuck you some fried cod. You must be starving. He grabs the offered meal, devouring like a bear starved throughout the winter.
Why?
Why did you help us? Because I can't let my future crew fall into other hands. It was nothing really. Being a jar means more than just giving orders. You have to take responsibility too. Even the most powerful jars will eventually fall from grace if they avoid their personal responsibilities and simply orders others around. Wow. I heard that in ancient times, there was a king who ruled over the biggest forest in the world. Listening intently, Sancho and Effer gradually lowers themselves to the floor until they are fully seated, utterly memorized by her vivid storytelling. From the faded rays of the twilight sun to the silvery glows of moonlight, night gracefully arrives. Their eyes glow brightly, they swallow hard, absorbing the tale of greatness, wonder, and the incredible. Part 3, The Adventures. Did I miss the red, okay. Dear Harold, grown-ups often say that the torch will extinguish, great cheers will wither, and even the endless feast will eventually end in a great mess. Heroes too will have their curtain called. They say earnestly, solemnly, unwillingly, to move even for the moral control that they're sitting on. Grown-up acts like they know everything, sistering commands like they are kings and queens. But what do they know, really? Maybe they only sneak a peek at the door to glory and pride. They say, don't climb too high! Get down from the tree right now, you rascals, or else I'll make you fall. We're not coming down until we catch that humble bird. I'm sure it'll appear at dusk. They say if you defeat them toenails and smelly boots for 3 days, they'll grant you a wish. I'll make them eat all the test papers so we don't have to have any more exams. I wanted to find the book the instructor threw away.
What did you say?
Ma'am, you little troublemakers, I'm coming up. No, don't. The tree can't take any more. Ah. They say don't take too much. It's like a little comic. Will the ghost really come? I'm getting sleepy. It will. I'm sure of it. They say that the ghost of the missing student appears here at the night of every full moon. And if we find him, he'll reveal the exam questions for next week. Okay, well, I'm gonna lay down and sleep for a bit until he... Patter, patter, look! The ghost is here! The moon is just perfect tonight. Hum-dee-dum. Now to take out my oracleum. Huh? Who's there? Ah! Run! They say, don't run too fast. In this lesson, you will learn how to deal with Galvalxus. Now, I'll release a diametric breed. Ah, my cloak! Sailor, stop it!
Oh dear.
Sure, quick, stop now.
Watch out!
It follows loud, fast-moving things. I can't hear you! Don't climb too high. Don't take too much. Don't run too fast. Don't be too selfish. Don't wander too far. Don't go on adventures. If we listen to these grown-ups, all those amazing treasures, great feats, and countless heroic tales will end up like the remote control under their butts, lost in the couch forever. So, my dear Harold, I gathered a crew of SBDM's students with extraordinary abilities to lead a rebellion against all these boring grown-ups. They are loyal and dedicated to me. They have remained unflinching, even in the face of a nasty witch. I swear, it was me who ate the fish and chips. I ate it all on my own. Patter, patter, jar, the corner of your mouth. They possess the wisdom of Mara and the agility of Thor. Even the craftiest of which are helpless against them. Hey, what's that bludgeon in your pocket? It's the stickiest, chewest chunk I gave her. You wouldn't want to fish it out with your hands. It'll make you so sick that you won't be able to eat the whole night long. Even in the most critical moments. Hey, isn't that Miss Sonata? Huh? What? Perhaps she needs the help of an outstanding disciplinary assistance. I'll be right back. My crew and I always find a way out. I have to say, my heart is bursting with excitement. My dear Harold, I can't wait to show you everything I achieved here. Also, how my crew is at Stillwater Lake doing? Did Dumb Howard take over the park? Did old John find the note I stuck in the bumper of his car? Ha ha ha. He must have been furious. Also, I got the chewing gum you sent. My crew absolutely loves it. Also, how come your handwriting looks so much neater? Is that Sindred from the next door writing these letters for you? Ha. She got you all figured out. Anyway, I hope everything's well with you. Well, I'm off to sleep. This Introduction to Alchemy book is as heavy as a rock. It gives me a headache. Missing you, Erick. Hopefully nothing happened to her family. The end of a sweet dream. It's the sound of bells, the knocking of doors, the rumbling of approaching rain. The end of a sweet dream. The children, soaring over sleepy houses and the sparkling sea, finally reaches the dreamy islands. The tide loves them so much it rolls itself into a blanket to welcome them. The fairies gather around, plucking waves and stars to crown them. The joyful children climb the highest cliff above the seas. But don't get too comfortable, and don't let your guard down. Children, when dust falls upon the island, you know it's coming. Curfew holds no sway over these nimble little feet. Through shadows, tiptoes by the lake's silent lake shore, even the smallest cough would shatter the stillness in the air. But the silence can only last so long, and despite their best effort to keep quiet, a voice slips out. Hey, do you think these critters will really take us as its masters? Strange, it dug a hole there under its butt, put the can of food inside, then spat on it. Boss, maybe we should try something else. Sandra, how does your knowledge of critters suck so much? The instructions really explained this morning that government uses their split to distinguish food from trash. Right. The instructions may be boring, but they do spout some wisdom. One day, this big boy will willingly serve us and be our obedient mount. Also, there's a saying. How does it go? When God locks the door, he leaves a window open through which we may slip out. Jar, I don't think that's... Hey, duck down! The witch is coming again.
Oh.
Don't step on my foot. God, I literally just polished these shoes tonight. Shh! She's coming! Their hands meet their faces as they huddle together. The witch hurried past. She paused at the critter cage on the other side of the room. Oh, Galvassus number 15. Why do you have diarrhea again? They must be feeding you exactly according to the critter feeding manual. Someone else must be feeding you. The poor creatures, unable to speak, curls up in distress. Dejected, the three unreliable master seeks away. As the night deepens, they return to the dormitory. I have to go to class all sweaty again tomorrow. Haha, you smell just like the critter. Maybe we'll even take you as his leader. Effie's face turns red. She pinches his arm hard. Huh, I'll put a curse on you to be thrown out of school tonight. Not even the instructions can protect you then. You'll be like a soap bubble floating in the sewer. Hey, Effort, don't! Chelsea suddenly turns solemn. He shakes his head, signaling her to stop. Boss's family. The jar smiles, fades, and worries fill her eyes. Effort immediately feels guilty.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Eric. I was just saying. Your dad and grandpa must be. Duck! Hide behind the wall! Eric clasps her hands over their mouths, instantly muffling their voices. A suspicious-looking figure lurks by a red post box nearby. Looks like someone's up to no good with our mailbox. Boss, why does your hand smell so weird? Sorry, I patted the Gavaltz's butt earlier. She quickly lowers her hands, shaking it as if doing could rid the stink. Ginger hair, checkered headband. Hey, isn't that the distinguished alumna, Sonata?
Wow.
Oh, her hair is so pretty. Much prettier than my sister's. When I graduate, I want to dye mine the color of the leaves in autumn. Isn't she the one who's the top of the class in potion studies, basic arcanism, and critter training for a few years ago? Move your head, I want to see too. Nothing to fuss about, crew. She may be great, but she's just one of my former opponents. For a bard, she's... Strange. Is she mailing something? But these aren't the non-student mailboxes. Look, she's stuffing a letter in there, but that's... Is that Erick's mail? Having completed the task, the Sonata hurries away. A silent returns under this night sky. Erick dashes to her mailbox, putting out the letter. To Erick, the sender has falsely signed, Hailed at the bottom.
What's wrong?
Boss, why did you run so fast? Oh, is this a gift from Sonato? I thought everyone's mail was delivered at the post mail during the day.
Hey!
Hey, boss! Don't worry during this term. Harold will still send you letters every month. The school postman is very punctual. You can write him too. Your communication will be unhindered. We promise him that we will ensure your safety at school. He trusts us. You can handle this. I'm certain you will. So is she having second thoughts? You can trust these two. They're good people. Yours forever, Harold. Had they been lying? Besides the first, all the letters were... If it's all a lie, then what's the point of all this? The treasure, territories, crew. What's the point of my ambition?
Hey!
Hey, boss. Ever since you got that letter yesterday, you've been acting a bit strange. Erick. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
How's it going?
What's wrong? Nothing. Just leave me be. Her gaze became violent again, as if it all just weren't real. Steady footsteps approached from a distance. The students watched the advancing figure, lip firmly sealed. Erick, there's a suspicion that you snuck off to the critter shed by the lake yesterday and fed the critters there. As I'm sure you're aware, this is against the school rules. As of right now, there's no second witness to prove it was you, but if it was you... Everett stands up. She was with us the whole time yesterday. I can testify. I can too. It was me. Erick stands up, arms dropping by her side. A fake story. A beautiful dream is better than words of truth. We accepted you as per the SPDM lesson in student regulation, giving you the opportunity to study along top scoring students. Her eyes as sharp as the eagle's. Otherwise, under the existing school rules, a student your age would be turned away. A lack of formal arcanist education is only one factor. After all, instilling technology and theoretical knowledge is of no difficulty to us. But noble characters, respect for order, and the pursuit of delegating oneself to the peace of mankind. These require a extensive education period for our students to fully understand. I believe that the St. Pavlo Foundation put much thought into the decision that has allowed you to stay here. You should feel honored. Two distinguished graduates vouched for you and signed the Guardian Responsibility Treaty. They didn't have to do this. It means that any rule violation on your part will just directly impact their personal reputation. So think carefully about every word you're about to say. You're not just defending yourself. Don't be selfish. Think of others. You grown-ups just love to bring others into everything. Shift responsibilities for everyone else onto their shoulders. I don't plan on defending anyone. I'm willing to accept all the consequences. Erick grabs the magic stone tablet.
What?
What are you doing? Put the table down now. You need to talk to Vertin. You took off the arm ring? But there are already... She glanced at the girl's arm. The band mark is coiling around it like a red python. Bang! She hurls the stone table into the corner, and it shatters with a deafening crash. I need to ask her something important. I don't want to hurt you. No, Erick. I'm afraid you need to calm down first. Security!
Stop for the laws or stop for the notch. Yay!
Oh, so the armoring was like minimizing her powers or something, or reducing her powers. Bang, bang, bang. One by one, the staff members are hurled out of the office. Good heavens, this is far beyond our regular dealing. She's akin to a little lion. We need to bring out the restraining equipment. Tell the logistics department to open the storage room. I'm sorry. I really don't want to hurt you. Please, instructor. I just want to talk to her. After that, I'll accept any punishment. Meanwhile, rapid footsteps sound from afar. Before any message is relayed, two Foundation staff members arrive, as if they had foreseen the event. Excuse me, instructor. You can leave now. We'll take it from here. It appears you anticipated correctly. Well, there's not much more I can do. She heaves a sigh and leaves. The corridor is silent again. All the students have returned to the dormitories. Erick awakes in her chair, trying to make out the muffled conversation taking place outside the office. A tall hat appears in the front door frame.
Hello.
We can talk now. Phew, thank you for coming. Now I don't have to climb over the wall to find you. Erick, this isn't what you promised us. No. You need to answer me first. She cuts her off with the sharpness of a knife. Are you a smooth-talking liar like all the other grown-ups? Don't lie to me. I can see it in your eyes.
No.
I don't think so. Good. Then please tell me. She takes a deep breath before speaking. What happened outside? Harold and the others, what really happened? A familiar question brought up yet again. The time has changed, and nothing is as what it once was. What's important is that a promise was made, and the truth needs to remain hidden now more than ever. What do you mean, like, so I'm very new to the game. Does complete Erick? Oh no, it's just it's an antidote, but even though it's gonna expire in what, like 7 or so hours, I think you could do it later on too. Once you do the weeklies, you get like a can that you could use to unlock the antidote characters. Each story is different, so you're mostly finding out what's like the lore of or what's happening in the character. So so far, we did I think the only ones I remember is Charlie. We did Charlie antidote earlier, which he was trying to do like a theater performance. I'm trying to figure out who the other person was. Charlie. Yeah, I have to check after this thing, because I know Charlie was one of them. I can't remember the second one, but this is the third one that popped up. I know it's cost nothing. Everything is 0. So all the rounds are 0. You don't have to use energy. Thank you for the follow, Mitsu. Did you see the 1.6 trailer? You can watch it on if you go to your announcements or notices, and I'll tell you the news. So I think it's coming at the end of the month. So you get I think if you log on every day and stuff like that, you get a total of 23 wishes, or 23 polls. Yep. But it's like it happens for every event that pops up, because when this event came out, I think there was I think you were able to do around like, I'm thinking it was 10 wishes, might have been 20 also. But yeah, it's been pretty you know, interesting. Because this one was, let's see, I think this event was mostly talking about well, since the event's about to end, this is the one, I'm not sure if you did this event, but it was mostly telling you like how Arcanists and regular people are like, you know, how the regular people have all these different events they could do, but like for Arcanists, they're limited, and like I guess they're like a little bit weaker to like the humans or something. So that's why they have their own Ururu games. Yes. Spatilia's event. Yep. Well, but okay, yeah, because I guess also the characters, but on hard, it doesn't use any energy. But I've been mostly doing the, like, you know, the one where you can earn the highest amount of coins to you know, keep on buying like the items in the shop, because they're kind of rare to farm. So might as well just, you know, use the points and just buy like either the silver or the whatever, the one that looks like a skeleton. Harold sits, carving a rough piece of wood with a hand knife. Despite his burly arms, his hands are incredibly gentle. The blade caresses the wood, carefully shaving off the excess. Only he knows that his body is fast losing its strength.
Nice.
Okay, now, her little wooden sword has a home to return to. He extends a bloodied hand, presenting a wooden sheath and a letter.
This is...
Wait, so was this his only letter that Harold wrote, and the other ones were mostly written by the other two people? Well, let's see. What's this? Some things I must say. In the distant, rugged figure has begun gathering. Oh, we got monsters. They are like a tide, like a swarm of bees. 1, 2, 3. He starts counting but quickly gives up, shaking his head. The number is far beyond that of fingers on both hands. He shifts his gaze back. You must do one last thing for me.
Please.
Please, don't tell my dear child the truth about all this. His hands clutches a small wooden sheath, not yet ready to let it go.
I'm sorry.
I can't stop this.
No.
No, you must. This is not a plea. In a flash, the bloody tip of the knife is at Verton's throat.
Don't do this.
I don't want to hurt you. You can't stop her from growing up. Child, trust me. When you reach my age, you understand that growing up is just a nice way of saying that people have to change, that we are forced to move forward. She will make those steps on her own. I believe that more than anyone. But before that, I want her to wander a bit longer, see the sights, go where she pleases, to experience all that bitter, sour, foul-smelling, to try everything with an open mind. In the end, she come to understand on her own. Promise me that you'll find a good place for her. You promise? He retracts the knife from her neck and pulls off his blood-stained beast cloak, revealing his arm ring. He removes it. His hand trembles as he hands it over. I promise.
Yes.
I promise. What's happening outside is an anomaly that you can't yet understand. Everyone has been afflicted with a serious illness. But we will eventually find a way to resolve this disaster. Erick finally deflates her puffed chest. A serious illness? But what about those letters? There wasn't a word about it in any of them. Those replies and the gifts, no. It doesn't make sense. She recalls what she saw last night. You're not telling the truth. What else are you hiding from me? You never tell the truth. Always covering one hole with another. Her vision begins to blur. Something warm trickles from her nose. It smells metallic. Is this blood? She gives a puzzled look at the drop of... What happened? Erick! So as you can see, like, these are the pots that you could get, the pre-numble can. So you want to do the weeklies as often. So if you look at the tasks, wait, is that tasks? So once you complete the weeklies, you just go over here and go to ANCEDOTES and just claim it over here. Okay, so Charlie's, I'm not sure if you're still here. Charlie's story is about, you know, performing in the he's like, you know, in theater, so he's performing. But like right now, I guess under the king's orders, that it's prohibited or like kind of like illegal. For Oliver Fogg, I guess it's like mostly like the Fog Walkers, where he's like a descendant that his dad is like well, for him, like, it's kind of like a hero, because I guess he ventured off in the stadium, and then like the fog came over, which presented the critters, and I guess something to do with Umbrella also, but the dad, like, I guess found them and, like, you know, saved them. So I was mostly telling about like his story about how he became the Fog Walker now.
When I was in jail, the guard in the jail would tell me about the fun parts of his day.
So we got 3 more left, 6, 7, and 8. The Song of Innocence. Slow down, child. I'm not going anywhere. So as you saw, it was Zero that to do that quest. She's in a deep sleep, unlike adults, who often relive traumatic memories during this time. Children face the danger of never waking up from their dreams at all. Do we have a way to wake her up? Was I not clear enough? This is a condition, not an ordinary state of sleep. Forcibly waking her up could cause serious brain trauma. Aside from letting her little brain wake up on its own, there is no other solution. Such an out-of-control arcanist ought to be subject to more stringent and regular checks. The LSCC research on her grandfather's armoring is still in the exploratory phase. It won't be of immediate help to her. Moreover, the death records here show that her mother was hospitalized for the same reason. This is the gift that accommodates their family's arcanum, a rare kind of hierarchy illness. Fortunately, though, we have a sample right here with us now. This should prove useful in treating Arcanus' illness.
Fabulous.
You have indeed made a good deal with her grandfather, Vertin. She pressed a needle into Erick's wrist and slowly released the liquid within. This is 5 milliliters of mandrake extract, a hemostatic and neutral blocker. It will slow the worsening of her condition and to maintain her vital signs for about 2 to 3 days, but is far greater than the normal doses. Even a carbuncle nearly 7 feet tall will be not unconscious by this. It's commonly used in the black market for live critter dissection.
I don't understand.
But aren't we supposed to be finding a way to wake her up? Aside from the coma, she has other more lethal issues. According to the blood dilution analyst report, her body is normally expanding blood. Her veins are filled with blood-sucking parasites. The most comforting treatment is to first calm these parasites. And I'm sure you know, this is the last sample. She returns the empty vial to the shelf. I'll come back in 4 hours. The medication quickly takes effect. Her breathing becomes later. Outside, dark clouds gather. They are building up to a downpour. The direct light is dazzling. Erick rubs her eyes. Her brain is on the verge of waking, but the sleepiness is unstoppable. As she mutters unconsciously in her sleep, the softness of her blanket pulls her deeper into her dreams. Her body instantly rolls away from the light. Duh. Ouch! That hurts! Wait, is she in her dream now? Or is she back in her dream as in her house? Or her homeland? Ow, my head! It's gonna be swelled as big as a bar of soap. Or this is a flashback. Let's see. Huh? Wait. This is...
What?
My room? The storybook slides open there on the floor. The carpet is sticky with chewing gum. Smelly socks crumbled on the ground, all the familiar messiness. My little sleepy head. Has winter finally passed? Harold, is this real? Wait, I'll pull hair to see if I'm dreaming. Ow! Ouch! That really hurts. Go wash your face quickly and grab your helmet and weapons. Your dad's already gone to pick up your little sailors. But, why? Oh, have you forgotten? Today's the victory party I told you about. I'm so impressed that you completed such a perilous journey. What a feat. I'm proud of you, child. Right. That sounds familiar. Looks like the fall really did a number on your head. We'll wait for you downstairs, child. Remember to tidy up your room a bit. Okay. We're starting to sound like nagging old John. She scratches her messy hair, opens the wardrobe, and starts rummaging around. But when did I get home? I don't remember a thing. Where was I before? Welcome home, Erick. Oh, sailors, you scared me. The children swarm around her, holding her hand, crowding into her throne draped with bearskin. Erick, I heard you went to a place full of witches. They could go anywhere uncompleted, and could even predict exam questions, and they had monsters that could eat a entire and whole in one bite. Is it true? Is it true? Calm down, sailors. It wasn't as scary as that, though it was certainly perilous. The witches there were actually quite reasonable. And those monsters? Wow. You had to see them to believe it. I can't even begin to describe how scary they looked. Tell us! Tell us!
Listen to me!
So listen up, that place. A grand story begins anew. The children gasp in horror, yet are unable to pull themselves away. They crane their necks like a little herd of giraffes. Old John clatters in the kitchen, occasionally glancing at his daughter before going back to stirring his pot of thick soup. There, I have two of the greatest sailors. They were... The children continue to stare at her. Sorry, it's strange. I can't remember a thing. As if a stone is suddenly lodged in her throat, she can no longer continue the story. Hey, Erick, hey! A voice seemed to push through a thin membrane. Did you guys hear something? Nope, I didn't hear a thing. I heard it, Jason, you bad boy. You ripped a stealthy one. You're talking nonsense. They stripped it out. First John on top of Buck, then Buck targeting Jason's particular spot. They grabbed their designated desired pillows to start a pillow fight on the sofa. The living room becomes a chaotic playground, with children cheering and laughing uproariously. Shh! Don't bring it over here. Be quiet, you idiot. Two tiny figures press against the window, whispering. But apart from Erick, no one else seems to notice them. She approaches the windows and peers out. You two idiots, what are you doing standing there at my doorsteps? Come in. All my friends are welcome. But we can't go in, Erick. Is coming. When it arrives, it takes away all joy. It will take away the candy and amusement parks, the fun of running away, and your prized little wooden sword. It will eat your heart. So you will never feel excitement again. Your feet will feel like they're chained, and your head will feel like it's carrying 100 gold pieces, too heavy to lift again. Eventually, you start forgetting the great stories and the treasures at your fingertips. We don't want that. We can't let it in. Don't worry, guys. I'll knock it down before it can even take a breath. But it's our turn to protect you now, Jar. Shh, shh. Is coming. Run! The figure outside the window flees fast. She quickly opens the windows. Strange. What's going on? The setting sun casts its ray, hitting her face and a green lawn outside. The sprinklers are hissing. But there's no one there. This is a friendly monster, child. I mean, yes, I do know of it. What kind of monster is it? I didn't even see what it looks like. Do you remember the museum ticket seller? The lady who always picked you up? Miss Sigrid? Oh, her face was long and sour. Her voice crooked like an old crow. If she caught you doing something she didn't like, you were in it for a serious paddling. The worst part was having to listen to her endless lecture afterwards. Children should behave themselves. When I was your age, blah blah blah, I'd rather walk the plank. Do you remember the day you climbed the world tree? And the carving you found at the top? The eagle feeders tops them all. The next kid to read these words will become the new master of the world tree. It was Miss Sigrid who carved those words. When she was your age, she ran faster and jumped further than any boy in the village, but none of the boys wanted to admit that a girl could best them. So one day they dared her to climb the world tree, the tallest tree in their village. If she failed, then she would have to say that they had been letting her win all along. We all know what happened next. He sighed deeply, spreading his hands. But adults always think a girl running fast or getting suntan is not a good thing. So one day, the eagle feeder met this monster. At first, they were evenly matched, palm against claw, stubbornness against absurdity. But eventually, she wore out. Her heart was torn to shreds by the monster, but no one ever saw her shed a tear. And then she became Miss Sigrid, the gloomy ticket seller who always selling off kids. Erick, sitting at the bed edge, lowers her head uneasily. I'm so sorry about what I said about her. She was a creator's hero. That monster must have been truly scary. Yes, it has no name, and no one has ever seen it with their own eyes. You must be careful. But now, I'm relentlessly pursuing my two sailors. They led the monster away to protect me. They are brave too. But what should I do? What should I do, Harold? Can you help me? She looks up eagerly, her eyes wide with hope. I'm afraid not, child. My hands are too big, and the monster is too small. My footsteps are too heavy, and it's too light. Only a child could defeat it, and only a child could be defeated by it. But what if I lose to it? If I become like Miss Sigrid, will you still love me the same? No matter what you become. He holds the child's arms, then stops trembling and raises her head. I felt like she was gazing into his eyes 1,000, 10,000 times over. I'm waiting for you. Her palms no longer trembles. Her steps grow lighter. She runs down the hallway. Runs down the stairs. Runs through the bustling living room. Erick, where are you going? Are you leaving the party? You can't go. We've been waiting ages for you. Look, we even brought a popcorn machine from the shop. We want to hear your stories about your grand adventures, about the treasure you brought back. Sorry. I miss you all and those good old days of venturing. But I made a promise to 2 other sailors you don't know. I can't abandon them.
Rowers!
Sailors, I'll come back for you, but not now. Jason, sorry. I'll return your homework later. You can blame it on me. Don't worry, boss. My behind is battle hardened. Even if the teacher comes with a branding iron, I won't utter a sound. And Buck, and nasty elbow over bothers you while I'm gone. Tell him to stop acting smug. Gerald Erick will settle the score. If he wants more trouble, take Jason's hellhound Garm over there. Remember, it only eats certain fish that we've been left out for 3 days and 3 nights. Thank you. The children watches her like a farewell choir. She grabs the doorknob, feeling the cold metal in her palm. Suddenly, a hand reaches out to stop her. Oh, John, don't block the way. This isn't... He wraps both hands around her shoulders. He ruffles her golden hair. His embrace makes it hard for her to breathe. But she doesn't resist. She just allows him to hold her tightly. So tightly. Eventually, he lets go. I have to go. She turns the doorknob. The dawn light spills through a gap in the trees, illuminating her in patterns. Goodbye, Dad.
Stop for the launcher! Stop for the notch!
Is this the monster Harold spoke of? You're the culprit. It was you who crushed the heart of children, stole their pride, and left them broken. Now, it's time for you to pay. Protect your head and tail.
Not good! I'm okay!
How are they cheating? Ow, that really hurts. But I'm not gonna run away. The ship that hasn't braved the waves, a child who hasn't stripped their knees, won't even be applauded by Singleton. Heroes with scars will never forget. Only children who have no vision of greatness retreats. That's right, follow my lead, crew. Cover its head with a plastic bucket, tie its hands with rubber bands, and throw the oldest egg we saved at it. It's time to give it the taste of its own medicine. So, let's see.
Yay! Hoist the sails! We will not stop our Viking journey! The rage of the sea will claim you! Like the anger of the teacher!
Nice. We got the other helpers that are giving us Moxie.
Prepare to engage! Hoist the sails! We will not... Prepare to engage! Our Viking journey! The rage of the sea will claim you! Like
We win? Opie? Ha ha ha, finally. I knew we could make it flee in terror. Right. Easier than a physical fitness test. Thank you. It's because of you all that this victory will be recorded in history. We meet again, Eric.
As they fell, Lord Erick embarks on her legendary journey.
Awakening hours. Amid a glooming so frigid, even one's heart begins to tremble. She getting up awake from her coma? Eric! 6 minutes and 38 seconds. Wait, 37 seconds. Consistent with the awakening trend on the monitoring device. She jots down several notes in the medical record book. Lie back down and don't move. I'll get the medicine. They are left alone in the hospital room. You've been unconscious for days. They thought you would never wake up. I was planning to visit Valhalla, but Hera and those stinky old lice-ridden men grabbed my ears and said it wasn't my time yet. That's a bit... Sonata lays her hands on Erick's.
I'm sorry.
Erick, I'm so sorry. Those letters, they weren't actually written by Harold. She freezes, then gently shakes her head. I understand. Thank you for being honest and for all you've done for me. There's no longer doubt in her eyes. How are those grown-ups I injured? I didn't mean to toss them so hard. They won't let me go back, will they? Well, the SPTM Management Committee has submitted your transfer applications.
What?
What? The bed frame begins to shake violently. Two dusty little head pops up from under the bed. Hey, what are you doing here? I asked the instructor to bring them here. I thought it might help your condition. But no one's paying any attention to her response.
No.
Boss, you can't drop out. I can't bring out my precious Sharpedo collections. The book I read said that staff and instructors are always for that. Santos, don't. You critters have been waiting in Miss New Babylon's cage for too long. Besides, she hunches over, covering her mouth as she is choking on thick smoke. Sancho opens his mouth to speak, but can't say a word. Her coughing is like a small wooden hammer pounding on her throat. Really? There's no hope left?
My apologies.
Sorry. If you leave, I'll never talk to anyone else ever again. I thought I finally found a real friend, but it turns out all this effort was for nothing. I knew it would end up like this, yet I still planned so much with you. People delude themselves into passive in life, painting a portrait of themselves, but in the end they are left with nothing but a portrait. They were right. She lowers her head, her shoulders shaking. She wipes the tears and snot from her face.
Don't do this.
Don't be like this, Effer. The boss is hurting too. No, she isn't. If you ask me, we've all been deceived. What about the mountains of treasures? The monsters called emptiness and vanity. There's no such things anywhere in the world. If there were, you would have taken us to see it for ourselves. You're so reckless, always getting us in trouble. Because of you, my semester grad got revoked. You don't actually have a ship or any other of those thrilling adventures. You just have a silly little wooden sword. And what can you command with it? What can you cut with it? She covers her eyes with her arms, but the tears keeps falling and the snot keeps dripping. Drip. Drip. I knew it all. Everything. Even so, we still followed you around. But now, you don't care about us anymore.
No.
The boss hasn't abandoned us. She pushes away the tissue presented in Sancho's hands. She doesn't even glimpse at Erick. She runs off like a child soaked by the rain.
Hey!
Hey! Hey! Effer! Sorry. It's okay, boss. It's not your fault. A nurse pushes in the medicine cart, followed by a familiar hat. Look, I have to go too. Get well soon, boss. Wait. He too leaves. Put out your hand.
Deep breathing.
Take a deep breath. There will be a momentary pain in your wrist, but after 1 minute and 28 seconds, your arm will be completely numb. A leap into the future. Also, this is kind of cute, where she's riding, the critter, the Gosfos or something, and then Effer. I think this looks. I think it's Effer, right? She's running to chase him, but I'll see Sancho's. Listen, a new bird is singing. A leap into the future. Pirates flee in terror. Children hold conches filled with honey and milk. They fall asleep in groups on the damp deck. On the other side, the adults weep, and the light of the lamp by the bed shines into their dreams. So when dawn comes, the first child returns home. Harold, this is my last day at the SPDM. Harold, I had a good time here. Cross out? Nope. Harold, if you can't see these letters, then what's the point of me writing them? She leans back on her chair and stares at the ceiling with a vacant gaze. Neither in pain nor worry, yet heavy in every way. What is that? What is that? Huh? A head pops into view. Surprise attack successful. Sancho, what are you doing here? Haven't you got critter training class today? Forget about class. It's been boring since you stopped attending. I thought I'd come to see you off, boss. I had a hard time finding your dorm. In all those winding corridors, I almost got lost.
Oh.
Wow. Your room is much bigger than mine. I'm jealous. He looks around. The once scattered books are now neatly piled into the corner. All that mess. Those cherished things are now packed into boxes. It's as if they were never there. And suddenly, the weight of reality makes his heart tremble.
I don't know.
Nope. I didn't know you packed up so quickly. You're leaving already? The feet behind the door has become restless. Effie!
Hey!
Hey, Effer, didn't we agree that I'll go first? We still have a secret plan to carry out. You, deserter with the rolled up bedding. She points her fingers like a judge, scoffing at the criminal.
What?
What? I didn't run away. Erick leaps up from her chair. A scurrying thief, a traitor who drops his weapon. A stupid pirate. Hey. If you had stopped at the first two, we could still be friends, but that last one, we're gonna have a part ways, you crybaby. Huh. If you got the guts, come with us. But I guess you wouldn't dare. You just can't wait to go running back to your grandfather. Wah, Harold. I miss you so much. Wah, wah, wah. Let's go, Sanchos. She runs to the door and makes a big funny face. Ha. Just you wait. She tosses aside her chair and tosses it. She pushes open the door, pushes past the curtains that fell on her own accord, pushes past the endless persuasion of the adults. Dear Harold, this is my last day at the SPDM. I feel more uneasy than ever, as if I lost in an endless night. I'm really scared. Terribly so. Shh. The instructors have gone to bed. We need to be quieter. Come out. Come out. Don't be afraid. The boss doesn't bite. He opens the cage and the Gotham stiffs his hand, hesitating. I think I met that monster you told me about, but I couldn't defeat it. Of course, it hasn't defeated me either. Good job. Good boy. That's it. Cut meter boss. Aru? Looks up instantly. Now lie down. Let our boss sit on you. Also, that's where he got the mount. It opens his mouth and bites her cape. But I recognize its form, just as it recognizes me. They said every child has to face some hardship to realize their own form, to end up where they ought to be. They said every ambition ship crew eventually runs out of food and sneaks back to the old harbor on a quiet night. So I guess I've always been scared. Scared like a cornered squirrel. I'm afraid of the endless nights without you, that I'll lose all my courage and run away. I'm afraid that the grown-ups are right, and the children are wrong. That's all this is, just a child's fantasy. That heroes and treasures no longer exist in the world. But they do exist, Harold. My little wooden sword has never... my little wooden sword was never sharp, and my ship would have been easily overturned by a small wave. But I'd rather be swallowed by a wave than sit at home on a sofa. I'd rather perish than be immortalized at the epic of minstrels than idly daydream of futures that will never come. I won't wait for the predetermined fate to take me. Besides, my sailors look for me for guidance. It's lower its head, boss.
Oh.
Now's the chance. Now. Looks like the canned food we hid for you worked. Come, my ravious friend. Forward, swallow the gold, swallow the test papers, swallow the teaching sticks. Hey, what are you doing? Get off that Galvasis. That's also full. Run! The crew will eventually part ways. The banquet will fall silent. In the end, everything is in vain. Nothing will remain. But I tell you, those who defy makes a dream. The story is dedicated to daydreamers. The Three Musketeers. Who is Madame Ghost? Erick the Fleet-Footed. The end. Visitors, doctors, everyone has gone. The room sits in perfect silence.
I'm sorry.
Erick, I'm sorry. You know our agreement. Due to this incident, you'll be transferred to the School of Corrections until they determine you have significant self-control and common sense. The child doesn't resist, emitting a consenting hum. But first, I think you should know the truth about what's happening outside. I'm ready. She immediately shakes her head. But I want to see it for myself. She looks out the window, turning her gaze to the stormy skies. So we finished the